Ooh, the NBA been on fire so far to start this season, C-Dub.
It has.
And listen, man, we got three teams that are undefeated, at least 5-0. And then we got three teams that are defeated, haven't won a game. So we're going to discuss all six of those teams and who we think is going to lose first and who we think is going to win first right after the intro.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
What's the word, NBA basketball fans? Welcome to another episode of Old Heads. It's your boy Big Kev, and we got C-Dub in the building. Y'all already know what to do. Hit us up at NBA Central Pod, wherever you like to receive your social media information. You can follow me specifically at Big Kev from the Shy, Big Kev from DACHI. And so C-Dub, tell them where they can follow you, big dog.
You can follow me at everything at Shy Boys Podcast. That's capital CHIBULLS podcast.
That's what I'm
Yep,
talking
spell.
about, man. I think today's topic is going to be actually really, really interesting because we got a surprise team in the Eastern Conference that hasn't lost any games. And then the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously, and the Chicago Bulls haven't lost in the East. The Oklahoma City Thunder haven't lost any games. They're defending their championship. And then another surprise team in the West is the San Antonio Spurs. They've yet to lose a basketball game to start this season. None of these guys are playing tonight. So we're gonna discuss these teams, and then once we go break them down, we'll discuss which team we believe is going to lose first, and we'll start with the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder. Dub. They're led by, of course, the reigning MVP SGA Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, averaging 34 points a game, 6 assists, and look, he's leading the team in blocks with
Oh,
1.3 blocks a game as well. And then, of course, all of their complementary pieces. Chet Holmgren's taking a step forward. Isaiah Joe's playing pretty well. Aaron Wiggins, Ajay Mitchell, and then, of course, Isaiah Hartenstein. And then if they haven't had much of Alex Caruso so far because he's going to be in and out of the lineup with how hard he plays. But they have their pieces. Pretty much everybody that was here last year is back to make another run at it. Lou Dort and the likes. How you feeling about the way Oklahoma City has started their season at 6-0?
and it's gonna be a common theme when we go through these three teams that remains the only three teams undefeated. I think it comes in three factors when you look at especially a team like OKC and at the rest of the two undefeated teams. First, they well coached. They all play hard for that coach. And number two, they're young. All the three teams that are undefeated are really young at the bottom of the league in age. And number three is everybody plays hard and everybody eats, B. Everybody seems to love each other. It's symmetry. You look at this OKC team, bro. This team is poised to be a dominant force for the foreseeable future, bro, especially when you led by the likes of a perennial MVP candidate in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Uh, he's a consistent, probably 30 points per game. You can mark it down every game. It's just something you can rely on. They not even had Jalen Williams, and that's another fact with all of these three teams. They're all not whole yet.
Mm-hmm. That's
Um,
true.
these guys have been to the championship. Excuse me, and they have already won the the championship already. So it's going to be tough to get these guys off their mantle. I think they have a perfectly built team for whatever type of game you want to play. If you want to get up and down, if you want to go half court, they can play any way you want to do. If you want to shoot threes, they got 3-point shooters. They got big men who rebound. It's just a well put together team, bro.
Absolutely, man. And you're right. I didn't even think about the fact that none of these teams are at full strength and they're still going out there winning. And you're also right about the unselfish nature of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Once again, they have at least 6 players averaging double figures, and they have 2 double players on their team in Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. both averaging a double-double, 23 and 10 from Chet. And I got to ask you before we move on to the next team, man, can Chet sneak his way into the All-Star team about with these numbers that he's putting up right now?
It ain't even as a sneak into the all-star team. I
Now
think he made it.
think about where he at. Now he got you got Joker still out there on the West.
I mean, he don't have to start to make the all-star team. If he playing well enough, I think he'll get that nod. He's
Mm-hmm.
playing terrific. Still early in the season, but we could probably bet on this is the way he's going to play the entire season based upon of what he presented in the playoffs last year and as well as the finals. This kid, yeah, he's poised to be an all-star this year. I ain't afraid to put that out there. I ain't afraid.
Oh yeah. I love it. I love it. Now moving on to the other team in the Western Conference, and we talked about them a lot recently because of the start for Victor Wembanyama. But the San Antonio Spurs are 5-0 for the first time in their franchise history, Dub, which is crazy. And
That's
they're led
crazy.
by Victor, who's averaging 30 points per game, about 14 and a half rebounds, 3.5 assists, and almost 5 blocks a game in only 33 minutes a night. He is playing some inspired basketball, and they have all five of their starters. Well, Harrison Barnes is in and out of the starting lineup too, but they got 5 people in double digits as well, and everybody contributes to this team, including rookie Dylan Harper putting up about 15 points a game and 5 rebounds and 5 assists across the board for him, and a step forward for Stephon Castle last year as Rookie of the Year, and Devin Vassell as well playing really, really well. So you got a team that's coming out and surprising a lot of people. I can't believe the San Antonio Spurs have never started a season 5-0, by the way.
That's crazy work. With all those championships in the 2000s and 2010, I mean the 2010s and the teens and shit like that, you would think that they would have went at least 5 or 6 in a row. But this is the team that everybody wants to see right here. This is the team of the year. And this team is basically built around Wemby, and it complements him perfectly. Young, exciting, talented young men out there complimenting Wemby. This is a young ass team, Kev, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they got the rookie of the year from last year and Stephen Castle. They got a young number 2 pick in Dylan Harper. And you got a guy, like I said, all 3 of these teams in our whole. You got De'Aaron Fox. Has not played the game yet.
Mm-hmm.
This game got a nice reserves and Julian Champagne. He's been making great contributions off the bench. Luke Cornett come in and give you some good minutes when you got to sit Wemby. This team is one of those flavor of the month teams for this entire year.
Mm-hmm. And Luke
I think
Cornett's averaging 8 and 8 off the bench. It's kind of like what's happening with Hartenstein over in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and I also like to mention that this team is it looks like it's perfectly built to combat the OKC Thunder. That's what it looked like to me. They built this team to take down the OKC Thunder. Now, they haven't played this season yet, obviously, because both is undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be really interested when this matchup finally comes to be, bro.
Let me see real quick when they play each other.
I think this is built just for OKC. They got athletes. You got a star in Wemby. You got big time shot makers in Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox,
Well,
Devin Vassell. Come on.
We get to see them. It's gonna be crazy because they play each other on Tuesday, December 23rd, and then they turn around to play each other again on Christmas Day, Thursday, December 25th.
Oh
one
my
of the
God.
early afternoon games. So they'll get to face each other back to back. Now, obviously, I doubt that both teams will be undefeated by Christmas. But we're gonna get to see how San Antonio matches up with Oklahoma City. Because as you pointed out, it's a team that's built to possibly be the antithesis, to kind of match up with these guys. You got 2 bigs, obviously, in Victor and what's his name, Luke Cornett. And then you also have players that ain't even played yet. Kelly Olynyk is on this team. We know what he
Kelly
brings to
Olynyk.
the table once he's
Mm.
out there at least. And you still got Bismack Biyombo, which I don't think he'll really play much. I can't believe he's only 33. I feel like this dude is like 47 years old.
Like he older than normal too.
Oh my mama, bro, that's crazy work. So yeah, like you gotta love what you're seeing from the coaching staff out in San Antonio, from the players and how they're responding. They're winning games all sorts of ways. Shout out to Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Now we've got the last undefeated team, and of course, we feel good about this, as you can see in the background. We are Chicago sports fans galore, Chicago Bulls fans for sure. C Dub and I got to witness the glory days of the Chicago Bulls. And right now, this team is doing something that hasn't been done since the glory days. They have started 5-0 for the first time since 1996. That team went 69-13. It was after the 72-10 year. And look, man, I can't believe that no Thibodeau team went 5-0. If you look at the Chicago Bulls team, they have 6 players averaging double digits in scoring. And Patrick Williams is right behind them, but we know he's only going to average 9 points a game. And then you got Jalen Smith coming off the bench and giving you a strong 7.5 points and 5 rebounds. But this is led by Josh Giddey, right? And to a certain extent, Trey Jones. They're both up there in assists. Josh Giddey averaging 8 assists a game. Trey Jones averaging 6.5 assists a game to go along with 2.5 steals per game. But then you have the young players, Matas Buzelis, who's taking a step forward. He's going to have nights where he puts up 25, other nights where he puts up 10 to 15. And then you have off the bench, Ayo Sumu with 16.2 points per game. The young fellas have come to play, and then the complementary players like Nikola Vucevic, who's playing inspired basketball, averaging 20 and 12, and your Kevin Huerter coming off the bench, giving you 14 to 15 points a night. C-Dub, how you feeling about our hometown Chicago Bulls being undefeated?
Hey, the buy-in is crazy. All the chips are in the center of the table. This team has completely bought into the style of play of Billy Donovan and flat out shit. AK and Mark Eversley, the general manager and president of basketball operations. They're getting up and down the floor. They've been having one of the fastest paces since last season. Well, since the last quarter of the season, last season, and to now. Now this season, the new thing is they getting after you. If you watch the last game against the New York Knicks, they pretty much smothered the New York Knicks, especially in that second quarter. That really was something we haven't been seeing around Chicago in a long time. You just go down the ladder. You start with Billy Donovan. With it being a young team, you got to have a capable coach. You got to start with him. Then you go down the ladder. You got a guy like Josh Giddey, who I think is the overall leader of this team, and he makes everything go for him, dropping a career high 32 points and add in 10 rebounds and 9 assists. Then you go down the league. You got a prodigy who seems to be blooming right in motion, in full step. Matas Buzelis. How you're still winning, and you got a young pup that you're trying to develop. You got supplementary pieces and Ayo Sumu, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and other guys like that. This is a very hungry, feisty, thirsty team that's going to be tough to go out there and play against because they're going to be playing hard each and every game.
And if I told you before the season that the Chicago Bulls were going to lead the NBA in assists per game and be undefeated after 5 games, would you believe me?
No.
Nobody
Hell
would have.
no.
Oh my mama, bro. It's crazy, crazy to see. I'm actually very, very excited to continue watching this team for the rest of the season because you're right. They've bought into what Billy Donovan and the front office is selling. You don't have ball stoppers on this team anymore, where it's like, okay, we're just going to dribble, 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 try to get a bailout shot at the end of the shot clock. They're cutting, moving without the basketball, moving at random, and they're playing defense. They're a top 10 defense right now, and they're leading the league in assists. You can't ask for more for this team right now, with the exception of maybe cut down on the turnovers. And last night they had one of their best games of the season. I think they only had 7 or 8 or 9 turnovers last night. So, all right, moment of truth, my guy. Which one of these teams do we expect to lose first? The San Antonio Spurs, who have coming up real quick, they have the Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Houston Rockets over their next 3 games. The Oklahoma City Thunder, who have the
Trailblaze. They got the
they got the
Pelicans,
New Orleans Pelicans, the LA
Clippers,
Clippers, and
Trailblazers.
Portland. Yep.
Hmm.
And then the Chicago Bulls, who are their next 3 games are the New York Knicks. They take on the Knicks again tomorrow night. Just beat them last night. Philadelphia and Milwaukee. Those are 3 very tough games. And what's the fourth one in there? Because it could matter. And they play the San Antonio Spurs next Monday, November 10th. Who you got
Okay.
losing their first game first?
Okay. First off, I'm gonna just eliminate OKC from this. OKC, I think they got a easy like next couple of games to me. Uh, when you got the Pelicans and the Thunder and the Trailblazers, Clippers is a bit of a threat, but I think OKC can hold that down. So it's going obviously going to be between the Bulls and the San Antonio Spurs. Now I'm gonna eliminate. I was gonna say this. I was easily just gonna do it like this, like they play each other like in a week and shit. But that'll be too easy and too cornballish. So I'm gonna just say that it's going to be the San Antonio Spurs first because they got the Lakers and the Rockets coming up November 5th and 7th and November 7th respectively. I think either the Lakers or the Rockets take them down.
Yeah. See, for me, this one is a little tough because it's tough. It's really difficult to beat a team in back-to-back games. Chicago Bulls just beat the Knicks at home, and now they have to turn around and go to New York and do it again. That's going to be difficult. And then the Oklahoma City, New Orleans been playing tough. We're going to talk about them in a second because they're one of the defeated teams. The Clippers have been playing really good as well, and Portland's been playing better than you think. And then San Antonio, man, the only reason I'm picking San Antonio to lose first is because they're going to beat Phoenix, but then they got to Lakers on the road on
Yeah.
national television. I can't
Uh-huh.
see them getting to 7-0, but it's going to be all contingent upon the Chicago Bulls taking care of business versus the New York Knickerbockers tomorrow. But
That's the
I'm
game
in,
that scare you, that game tomorrow versus the Knicks.
and honestly,
And
I
you
might have to
think they could
change.
beat Philly, so you just think
I
they
might
could
have to
just get
change it
Philly.
because that Philly game gonna be tough too. Regardless of if Embiid plays or not, Philly always plays the Bulls tough. Now the Bulls are gonna be at home, so it's possible we should be able to beat them. But the biggest thing that scares me is can they beat the Knicks back to back? So I might go with the Bulls. I know it sounds weird coming from a Bulls fan, but the Bulls
I ain't mad
played
at you.
two tough opponents before San Antonio plays the Lakers on Wednesday. So I'm gonna have to go with the Chicago Bulls. I'm changing my mind. I'm going with the Chicago Bulls losing
I ain't
first
mad
out of
at you.
these
Shit,
three
I'm sticking
games.
with San Antonio. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, moving right along. We appreciate you guys for that part of the program. Go ahead and like, comment, share. Let us know what you think about the first 3 teams. To the 3 teams that haven't lost, who do you think is going to be the first one to lose? And then we'll quickly touch on the New Orleans Hornets, who are 0-5, C-Dub, the Indiana Pacers, who are 0-5, and they play the Golden State Warriors tonight, and the Brooklyn Nets, who are 0-5 as well. All 3 of these teams are struggling. They have, players to watch. We'll start with the Brooklyn Nets, for example. Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. are just out there playing rec league basketball. These dudes are chucking it up, boy. They out there having a good time. They're both averaging over 20 points over on the Indiana Pacers. Pascal Siakam, you know that they're a team that's ready to play basketball. Benedict Mathurin, he only played 2 games, but in those first 2 games, he averaged 31 points. Pascal's giving you 25. Obi Toppin and the rest of those guys are coming in and playing really good basketball. And then over for the the New Orleans Pelicans, they're 0-5. Zion is healthy. He's playing good basketball, averaging 23 points and about 6.5 rebounds. And then Jordan Poole is kind of rejuvenated. He's out of Washington. He's over on a young New Orleans Pelicans team, averaging 20 points to go along with just 3 assists, but still. And then Trey Murphy and Jeremiah Fears, the rookie, he's out there playing really good basketball as well. How are we feeling about these 3 defeated teams?
I just think that Every one of those teams, Indiana, Brooklyn, and who else is it?
New Orleans.
And New Orleans, they're just devoid of, well, not so much New Orleans Pelicans. I'm gonna just use this with Indiana and Brooklyn. Their rosters are not very talented, just to be honest, bro.
Indiana with Pascal
Indiana, with
Siakam.
all the injuries that they have right now, you got Tyrese Halliburton out. You do have Benjamin Matherin in there. You got um, Nimrod out there. That's just not enough talent on none of these teams. That's why you see the 0-5 records. You can't say that Rick Carlisle is not a good coach. That's why they're at 0-5. You can't coach trash, and that's just gonna always be a fact. And now you might have some talent on a certain team like the Brooklyn Nets or the Indiana Pacers, but it's not a good mesh of talent. It's not talent that complements each other very well, or you're missing the key ingredient that makes it complement each other very well. In the case of Brooklyn Nets, I just don't think they got very many winners on that team. I like Michael Porter Jr. He's a NBA champion, but right now he's in the spot as a alpha, like he's the number one option. It looked like to me, him and Cam Thomas, but I don't. He's not a number two option. He's damn near. You can argue he's not a number three option on your team at this point. Yeah, he
Cam
looks like a
Thomas.
shooter. No, no, I'm talking about Michael Porter. He
Okay.
looks like a spot up shooter to me. He's a shooter to me. Cam Thomas is a scorer, but does the way he play get you wins in the win column? That's why I'm saying. Does the way he scored the ball get you wins in the wins column? And we've been seeing this version of Cam Thomas for the last 3-4 years, and they've been at the bottom of the league for the last 3 to 4 years. Now, when you get to the New Orleans Pelicans, they got a gang of talent over there. Maybe it's coaching. I don't know what's going on. You got a guy like Zion who's having a pretty good backup year. You can't look at everybody thought that Murphy was going to make a jump this season. He has not really did that. He's at about 13 points per game. That's really a big letdown for New Orleans. But they got a lot of good young players like Hawkins. You still got Grand Theft Auto out there, bro. They shouldn't be winless right now, the New Orleans Pelicans.
They've lost some tough ones. The last night's game, for example, against the Clippers, they could have won it, but your boy went out there, Kawhi Leonard, and hit a buzzer beater game
Yeah.
winner, and it was wet. Now they do have the young rookie Jeremiah Fears. He's still finding his way. Derek Queen, which is crazy that I didn't even know this when they traded to move up to draft Derek Queen. They gave Atlanta an unprotected first round pick for next year's draft. So they need Derek Queen to turn into something. That is
Yep.
crazy work. He's doing all right for a rookie. He's giving them 8 points and 5.5 rebounds off the bench. But when you're relying on, veterans like Sadiq Bey, DeAndre Jordan to come out there and play meaningful minutes at his age, you're not going to see too much winning out
No.
there. They don't have a true point guard. Jordan Poole is not a point guard, not like that. Nobody on this team is averaging more than 4.3 assists, and that's Zion Williamson. He's your forward. He's giving you the most assists. So they don't have anybody to set them up. That's why they're winless. As far as Brooklyn is concerned, I think Michael Porter Jr. is more than just a spot-up shooter. I think that's what he was relegated to do in Denver when he was playing with, bona fide stars and Nikola Jokic, and as well as Jamal Murray. And then he was the fourth option on the team because of my man, he dropped 50. I can't think of his name right now for some reason. Aaron Gordon. Because of Aaron Gordon, like they would kind of go back and forth between the two of them being the third and the fourth option. But I think Michael Porter is better than just a spot up shooter. And he's shown you so far this season, he's going to the basket, he's hitting mid ranges. He has an opportunity to put up season career highs in points. He's got 21.6, but it's a bad team, so it's empty stats. And as far as the Indiana Pacers are concerned, I don't think that they're devoid of stars. Pascal Siakam is a star. My man is averaging 25 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 5 assists to go along with a steal per game. But you are right about this when you said they're missing that one piece that helps everything go, and that's Tyrese Halliburton. Now, Benedict Mathurin was having a great start to the season, but now he's injured. He's out. He was averaging 31 and 7, but he's out and he's week to week right now. So that's really what's hurting him because Pascal can't do it by himself. Obi Toppin is pretty much who he is. He's going to give you, 10 to 15 points a game, 5 to 7 rebounds a game, but that's about it. They can't really rely on Aaron Naismith to step it up higher. Mac McClung they brought over, but he's not going to really do more than just, fight for minutes. So that's tough for them to lose Benedict Mathurin the way that he was playing and not Tyrese Halliburton at all. So, C-Dub, we're going to have to talk about which one of these teams are going to get their first win of the season before the other two. Who do you think is going to be? The Brooklyn Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, they have over their next 3 games, Philadelphia, Minnesota, and Indiana. So, hey, if they play each other soon. The Indiana Pacers have Golden State tonight, Milwaukee, and then Brooklyn. So that's tough. And then they get to Brooklyn. And then New Orleans has Oklahoma City, Charlotte, and Dallas.
Okay. It's a difference. It's a difference. Check me out. Peep me out. There's a difference between disappointing and trash. I think that the Indiana Pacers and the Brooklyn Nets are trash. I think that the New Orleans Pelicans are disappointing because of the talent that I talked about earlier. Therefore, when I looked over the New Orleans Pelicans next couple of games, I know they got the OKC Thunder right away. Tomorrow they play them early afternoon. They got a game against the Charlotte Hornets on Tuesday, November 4th. I think that is the game that the New Orleans Pelicans get their first win, making them the first team to get a win between those 3, because I expect those teams to get like in mid-November before they get a win, Indiana and Brooklyn.
It's impossible unless they have a tie. Indiana and Brooklyn are going to play each other on Wednesday. So somebody got to win that game, Doug.
Oh, they play each other Wednesday? I didn't even look.
So yeah, Indiana and Brooklyn, one of those teams are going to win on Wednesday. But you're right. I believe the way that New Orleans has been playing, the game that they lost to San Antonio, for example, they were in that game. The game they haven't gotten completely blown out all season. They lost in where is it? Hold on, not San Antonio, New Orleans. Memphis. They lost 128 to 120. Then they lost to San Antonio in overtime. They got killed by Boston and Denver, and then they lost by 2 to LA. So they've been in 3 out of the 5 games that they've played.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get over the hump. I feel as though they're going to lose to Oklahoma City tomorrow, and then they're going to get a win versus Charlotte. Charlotte is just not really a good team. They're 2-3, but they just don't play wing basketball, in my opinion. They play freestyle basketball. There's no real direction on that
Yeah.
Charlotte team. And
Yep.
it's a team that New Orleans can beat. So yeah, if they don't, so now if hopefully they beat them. If they don't beat them, then by Wednesday, one of these 3 teams are going to get a win because again, Indiana and Brooklyn play each other on Wednesday. All right, there you have it, man. Great episode. Hope we did better with pronouncing everybody's names the right way this time. It's hard to do with all these different players from all over the planet. But hey, it's been fun. This is Old Heads. It's your boy Big Kev and C-Dub holding it down for the elderly.
Talk about the elderly.
Dub, you got anything else for the people, my guy?
Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, man. We gonna be bringing y'all some hits on a weekly basis, maybe a couple times a week. We'll let you know. Turn on the notifications just in case.
Oh yeah. And of course, if you haven't followed the rest of the Chi-Town Sports Central family, type in your favorite Chicago sports team, put the word Central behind it. We also have NFL Central. We also have Fighting Illini Central and the Shy Bulls podcast with my boy C-Dub here and Bobby. And of course, we call every single Bulls game live on Chicago Bulls Central and on playback. And then, of course, we do every Chicago Bears game live on Chicago Bears Central. Will be live tomorrow as the Chicago Bears take on the Cincinnati Bengals, and then the Bulls take on the Knicks tomorrow night. We'll be live for that. And of course, we do some live calls over here on NBA Central as well. So just stay in tune with the gang. It's your boy Big Kev holding it down. We're going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks